Hey everybody, this is Eddy from the Probably Soccer podcast. I wanted to do a special episode today, just short 10 minutes. I just came back from the DC United Knoxville Open Cup game, which by now all of you know the result to, which was a DC United loss. So I just thought it'd be fun to unpack it for a little bit and just share my thoughts on it and experience. So hope you enjoy it as we dive in. Going into this game, was I was confident for sure that you're playing a USL League One team. I watch a lot of USL League One as a Kickers fan, so I'm very familiar with Knoxville. I'm familiar with their play. However, at the end of the day, DC United is an MLS team, and you are playing a third division team, and you should be able to take care of business. And obviously, Knoxville, they're going to plan to play their hearts out, and so it's going to be a battle no matter what. And so I wanted to start by saying huge shout out to Knoxville. Normally I cheer against you. I cheered against you tonight at the game, but big ups to you on winning the game, taking an MLS team to extras, taking them then to penalties and ultimately winning in the penalties. I knew going into it that if they could bring this game to penalties, they could definitely win the whole game. And now you're advancing to the round of 16 for the first time. So congratulations. And tonight really shows us, as we talked about a few weeks ago, that the Open Cup really is magical. There's a shame that it's kind of lost its glimmer and its magic a little bit, and it's just assumed that an MLS team is always going to win the cup. And I'm sure this year it's going to be the same of an MLS team winning the cup. But wow, these early rounds have been really, really cool, just seeing the cup sets, and now being there tonight for the biggest cup set of the entire tournament was definitely something, even if I was on the wrong end of it. As we've talked about before, I live in DC, in DMV, and with getting into soccer, I knew that I wanted to commit to DC United, and I knew overall what I was getting myself into. I knew they were bad. I knew, I expected what was going to happen, but not during the Open Cup. And so going into it, they announced the lineups, and I liked the rotation. You got Bono coming in, or Bono, however you say it, and people have been saying Bono better than Sean Johnson. So I was excited to watch him play. And then finally, Luis Montiano, the record signing, finally getting his start, which was just really exciting to see him get the start and be able to play. I wasn't super impressed watching him play, but also I think my brain was just all over the place watching this game. And so I need to go back and watch just to analyze him a little bit more. But it was cool seeing the rotations there, and even Gavin Turner getting the start as well. So having Montiano and Gavin Turner on the attack or in the forwards was definitely a welcome change in the lineup. So I was really excited going into it. First 15 minutes, it was all DC United. And ultimately, going into half, it honestly should have been 1-0 Knoxville. There was one save that Bono was pretty... It looked like the ball had crossed the line, and it was at that point where I said, thank goodness that there is no VAR in this tournament. VAR, VAR, however, I'm probably going to say VAR for it. And there were several moments tonight that I had that same reaction of, oh, I wish there was VAR. Oh, I'm glad there isn't VAR. But ultimately, I really like watching the game when there's no VAR, just because it's a lot more physical, a lot more things can slide by. Just let the boys play. And so it was exciting seeing that happen. But going into half, it was tied 0-0, and it was just really interesting. Just talking with the people that I went with, they were like, "This game's going to go to penalties," and I was like, "No, it's not. No, it's not. DC United are going to win this in regulation." They go up 1-0. Screamer, or really wasn't a screamer, but just a nice goal from DC United. I was fired up, and then Knoxville tied up 1-1. And then Knoxville, like 3 minutes later, 5 minutes later, go up 2-1. And at that point, I'm saying, oh, no, this is not looking good. And then finally, DC United tie it up. There are a few more opportunities before regulation ends, but ultimately we go to extra time, which, I prefer an earlier bedtime. And I was like, come on, guys, like, I'm ready to go to bed. Can we wrap this up? And the third goal from DC United was just insane. I think Bono's. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong, by the way. Might be. But his assist goal to go up 3-2 in extra time was insane. I was losing my mind. Like, I was like, did that just happen? For a second, I thought he just booked it. He just like absolutely punted it and it went in. But it was Pirani assist or a Pirani goal with a touch. But that was just beautiful. And at that point, I calmed down. I said, okay, maybe we can win this. We get to the second half of extra time. Knoxville tie it up. DC United get a few chances. I honestly don't even remember the tying goal from Knoxville at all. I really wasn't paying super close attention, just because I was like, we need to win this game. And then we go to penalties, and I have very recently gotten into soccer. But I watched a lot of soccer growing up because my brother played, so I would go to his games. And my brother was a goalie, and so whenever penalty kicks would happen, I was just super nervous. So I kind of was reliving those days of watching my brother play soccer and watching him during whenever a penalty kick and PKs are happening. And so the game goes to PKs. Both teams go 5 for 5 to start. Sudden death, and once we got to sudden death, I kind of knew what was about to happen, if I'm being honest. And then, as we all know, DC United have their sixth kick blocked, and then Knoxville get their last one in. I was sitting in the supporter section, and the scenes were not pretty whenever that happened. I kind of knew it was coming. It's a cup game. I got to watch DC United score 3 times, 3 straight games with no goals. So at least we got to see some goals, which I'm happy about. But, it just sucks, losing, in the only tournament that you can actually have a chance of winning silverware at this point, because DC United are just in such a bad state right now. But I'm still a very proud fan. So the game ends, and the players come and approach the supporter section. And what was very interesting, I've always heard of like European ultras and how they could be kind of insane, like not threatening, but having very strong conversations with the team and staff, and just what is going on? What the heck are you doing? But tonight we stayed just to kind of watch the end of the game. Honestly, just as a soccer fan, as someone, we talk about American soccer on this podcast. I had to put aside my DC United fandom for a second and just take in the scenes of watching a huge cup set like this in person. It was really cool seeing Knoxville celebrate. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. But going back to the ultras, so the Barras Bravas, La Bendita del Distrito, the guy with the megaphone starts addressing the team, and so the team is walking up, and like they're literally, I couldn't hear what was being said, but the team was just standing there taking it from the supporters group, and my like normal American soccer mind could not comprehend this at all. I was like, what is going on? I was there with my roommate, Ben, and he was like, this is insane. I've been to a lot of sports games, and I've never seen that happen. I was like, this is insane. And it made me honestly appreciate the fan base a lot better of DC United, because I'm much newer to the fan base, newer to the game of soccer. but I could tell that they've been through a lot, and now I guess I could say and so it's just really interesting seeing the players just stand there and take it, seeing not like security, but like a gatekeeper of I'm sure it was some sort of coaching staff member come up to the stands and just make sure nothing crazy happened. But yeah, it was interesting just talking about how they just you're an MLS team playing a third division team. I can even understand like losing to a USL championship team, but like League One is just it's insane to, especially when you're starting most of your starters for the game. And so the frustration really boiled over and led to that confrontation. I didn't take any videos or pictures. I wish I would have, and then I would toss those in. But I was really taking it all in and realized that I needed to do this kind of short video about it, reaction video. But yeah, it was just insane. And so twofold, just to wrap it up. It's kind of twofold. One, big ups to Knoxville on the win. Insane. As a sports fan, I really enjoy seeing those kinds of wins, and it was just really cool seeing Knoxville live that out. Even if they are a USL League One team, and even if they, when they play the Kickers, I'm actively cheering against them. And so congratulations for making it to the next round. It'll be cool to see y'all play Columbus. I think they would host for the next round. I'm not totally sure on that, but that'll be cool. That'll be really funny seeing Columbus play in a minor league ballpark if that's the case. And then DC United. Now what you don't know is that we did a first episode that never got posted, and we did hot takes for the season. My hot take was that DC United would not only make an Open Cup run, but would win the Open Cup. And now I'm so glad that episode did not get posted, because Justin would be absolutely roasting me right now. And I'd probably make a funny reel about it, nice little brain rot reel, and that would post, and it would be great. And so yeah, my hot take is Dunzo, and now I feel like I've really been I've officially been inaugurated into the DC United fan base by just being there for an absolutely gut wrenching loss, and so I feel like now I can genuinely say that I am a DC United fan after going through that loss. And so I'll stick with my boys. I'll support them, but it'll be really interesting seeing the dynamics of the team after that loss, seeing, okay, how do we just reset before Saturday against Philadelphia? And hopefully that'll be a win, or at least a point. I just want to see a win. It's been forever since the Chicago game. But yeah, it's been an insane night. Crazy, just cup set. I love the Open Cup. I don't think I've emphasized that enough. I absolutely love the U.S. Open Cup, and I wish that more people would watch and take it seriously. I wish the U.S. Soccer Federation would do a better job of advertising it so that people would actually watch the Cup. It is absolutely electric. I've loved every second of watching the rounds, and now I'll be able to watch guilt-free. Don't have to be anxious about any of the games, because both the Kickers and DC United are out of it. And so, yeah, those are just my initial reaction and thoughts. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. I think it could be fun to have more reaction videos for different things like that, different games we've been to. But yeah, thanks for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, follow us on Instagram at Probably Soccer Pod, and we will see you in our next episode.